make contact again, and I'm going to try it like this. Let's just see what happens. Okay, Fur, I understand you want to have a discussion, but maybe we can do this, at another time that it would be more appropriate for you to talk. Why don't I make some time later tonight for us to talk, and we'll work it out, whatever you need to talk about then. But please don't interrupt the interview because I really value this man and I cherish him, and I really want him to get his voice out here to the people that want to hear it because it's important that they hear what he has to say. Thank you, Fur. Okay, yeah, you're right about our community. We are not a very nice community normally. I wouldn't say. Um, Tell us about how your experiences with some negative people maybe on this path.
Okay.
You don't have to
So
name anybody.
I'm not going to name anybody, but some practitioners, they promise you ceremonies, they don't deliver. I myself haven't been burned, but I heard of many people on Reddit, in demonology
Yeah.
practices.
Oh God. Yeah. Reddit is a clusterfuck, isn't it? Yeah. Um, I left Reddit too because it was very unfriendly, and there's a lot of ignorant people that run their mouth about things that they don't understand, and it's like people will just jump on that person's bandwagon because they know them or like them, regardless of what they're saying is true, and I don't like that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with
Yes.
you. Okay, next question. All right, Kirill. Where do you see yourself in 5 years on the path?
On the path, I want to become a master. I don't know if it'll take me 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, but I'm continuing on the path. This is my life. This is what I want to do with my life. This is
Yeah.
what I want to wake up to in the rest of my life.
How old were you when you knew that, Kirill? When you made that notion about yourself?
How old? I think I was 20. Nine, I'm 35.
Okay. Okay, that's excellent. Yeah. Now let me ask you a question. This is sensitive, and you can tell me. Look, Mike, I'd rather not go there. But this is a question that a lot of us have. Okay, for you in particular. Traditionally, let me find the right language to use this here so that it comes out the right way.
Yes.
No, let's ask it this way: what made you deviate from your cultural traditions and go left hand path as opposed to Kabbalist kedusha right?
I'll tell you the truth. I went the Kabbalah Kedusha right first. I studied with a rabbi Kabbalah.
Hmm.
I took all the books. I read all the books. I went to a special city in Israel. It's called Neibach. It's a city of religious people. It's like 90% religious people, and they have this secret Kabbalah books there. And I bought all the
Oh,
best
wow.
books, and I studied, and I did, and I went to the yeshiva, I went to the kollel, and I
Wow.
studied, and I did, and I saw they discouraged it. They said you need to study the Torah, and that's it. You cannot study Kabbalah until you're 40. That's what they told me.
And they were
And I
really
did,
serious about
and I did, and I tried, and I studied with a rabbi who was willing to teach me. But they only teach you the theory. They don't teach you the practice. They don't teach you how to make the
it.
amulets. They don't teach you how to do practical Kabbalah. That's forbidden, That's for higher initiates. That's for people over 40. You understand?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, can you tell us a little bit how Sitra Akra is viewed through the lens of the RHP Kabbalist? You have a very unique perspective, and I think people need to see this and hear it from you.
Okay. So it is viewed as something rejected. Klipot in
Rejected.
Hebrew, it means shells, something you discard. Like when
Hmm.
you have an orange and you peel its shell, you throw it out and you eat the orange. You understand? It's something that it's necessary for the orange while it grows. Yes? In Hebrew, klipa is a shell. It's something you discard. Mike? Mike. If anyone has any questions, I'm willing to answer. Okay, so I'll just continue. So how do they?
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead. If I zone
So
out because of connection, just
okay, so
continue
just
without.
continue. I'll continue explaining. Yes, in the right hand path, they want to keep you in line. If you call it a zombie, I call it the matrix. They want to keep you in line. They want to keep you in the community. In the right hand path, the community is above the individual.
Yes, the community is above the individual in the right hand path, and it's all about obedience to the higher authority, to the religious figures, the elders. Um, a lot of magicians choose safety and comfort of Kedusha instead of becoming a left hand path magician and going out on their own. Would you agree with that statement?
I would agree with it very much.
Yeah, yeah, that's a and that I started the same way that you did actually with HP Kabbalist Mystery School. You've heard of that term, Mystery School?
Yes,
Yeah, I was
mystery
like,
from mist, like something you can't comprehend. Something is mysterious.
well, in this case, what it literally means, like if you read a lot of Manly P. Hall, like Secret Teachings of the Ages, we're talking about the Eleusinian mysteries of the Greeks. It's like a course of initiation that the Greeks mystery school started a long time ago. That now people still like orders like the Golden Dawn, the ancient mystical order of the Rose Cross, Amorc, builders of the Adytum, even the Freemasons to some degree follow this kind of pattern of initiation. Okay,
They
and
inherited it. I understand.
yeah, yeah, and they put their own spin on it with time. Um, I got kicked out because of the taint of Citrakra. Can you sense a Kedusha right hand path magician as they approach? If somebody has some juice, some power.
I think I can, but
Yeah,
people who approach religious people think I'm a right hand magician. They
yeah,
told me
yeah.
they feel my aura as white. They don't feel my aura as black. It's very interesting,
Okay. Well, I have a theory on that, but I'm not going to share it right now because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that's what
Because
happens. That's the truth.
I'm going to tell you the truth. When they sense a night side aura, and I'm not talking about black mascara, black lipstick, hail Satan on a trench coat. I'm not talking about that kind of shit. I'm talking about a normal dude that you couldn't tell he was into the occult. When they feel the night side, it scares the shit out of them. All right. It really does. Like they don't have any exposure to it. Like we each have that within us, but they don't have any exposure to it because of their kedusha leanings. And when they fucking sense Sitra Akra, it really scares the shit out of them. And left hand path entities really scare the shit out of them too, in my experience.
Of course. In the Bible
Yeah.
itself, it talks of demons.
I'm sorry. Come again.
In the Bible itself, it talks of demons of different
Well, we've lost.
gods. You can you hear me?
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. All right, Kirill, that's awesome. I'm glad that you've shared some of this with us. I feel like we know you now, uh, and I'll tell you people a little bit about how we work together. We work on various client projects within the umbrella of the Temple of the Backwards Tree. I am obviously the owner proprietor, but I became so busy with my clients, my repeat and referrals. I don't do any advertising. It's word of mouth, repeat and referral business. But we became so busy here that I needed somebody that I could trust. Um, and that's when Kirill came along right at the right point, and I knew that this was a man that I could trust. And he's been nothing but helpful to me. He's really been good for me. His wages are something I can fairly pay, and I don't have to hurt myself. And his skills are definitely there to where I'm not uncomfortable giving project to him because I know it'll get done with the same energy that I would put into it, and that's what matters to me. How do you feel about doing work for hire? Does it change the game for you a little bit?
Yes, because it makes you more professional. When you're an amateur, when you're doing work for yourself, it's different. You don't hold yourself to the same standard. You have to deliver,
You're
and
right.
you have to deliver every time.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of pressure to perform. You're right. There's a lot of pressure to perform in what we do. Every job, you got to treat it like it's your first job and that it's special, and go as far as you have to go to win it. It's tough. It's tough. It's real tough. But you've definitely weathered the storm, and you've done it. You've done it with grace. So I'm proud of you. Definitely. Um, let's talk about magic you don't like and why.
Okay. Magic I don't like. That's a loaded question, but I'm glad that you asked it. I love tough questions. Magic I don't like. Love magic because
Why?
because it's
Me
harder for
too.
me.
But why?
Because it's harder for me, I guess. Because you're
It was hard
emotionally
for me too.
invested in it more. It's people's relationship. It's going against people's will. It's not easy.
Yes. Yes. You're right, because we frequently get asked to go against somebody else's will and bring back an ex-girlfriend, seduce someone that had no interest. Yeah, that is what we get asked to do regularly. Morally, how do you feel about that?
Morally, I think if I'm not breaking my own will, if I'm not breaking the will of my friends,
Right, that's how I see it too, man. That's exactly how I see it. If it's not one of my people, then I don't give a fuck, really. I mean, as long as it's not like a minor or it's not one of my friends or family, then I just don't care. Okay, I'll do it. Yeah,
if the money is right.
yeah, I'm not. Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, this is and this in this business, we can't afford to judge people for what they want. I mean, that's just not what we. That's what the right hand path does, and that's not for us. I believe the act of judging somebody else is an evil act, actually, in my opinion.
I'll show you something. When you point at someone, look, you have one finger pointing at them, and you have three fingers pointing at you. Three fingers, you see?
Oh wow, that is clever. That is very clever. I never thought about that. Well, you are full of wisdom, aren't you, Carol? That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Uh, yeah, you know what? I didn't like love magic either. Do you know what I had to do about it in order to get better at it?
Tell me.
I had to call Prince Citri and do a mentorship, and he led me to some new spells, rituals, and techniques. Because here's the thing about magic: we can always get stronger. We can complain that we don't have any skills in a certain department, or we can choose to gain skills and strength.
Yes,
It takes
well
effort.
said.
Right. Like you've picked up gin magic really fast, like a duck to water. Your gin magic is exquisite. Really, it's good. Um, you've picked up a lot of ceremonial technique and employed it very appropriately, which is awesome. I don't think you'll have a problem when it gets to love. I think it's just something that takes a lot of practice, man. It is. Yeah.
And also, I started a mentorship with King Biliel, and he's helping me to be more sure of myself, to be less of an imposter syndrome candidate.
He is a really great spirit to work with. I really like King Belial, the god of the witches, the Lord of the Abyss, King Belial, the Worthless One. That is his moniker. That is really crazy, man. Do you know what they say according to legend about Belial? It wasn't Lucifer that started the rebellion. It was Belial that instigated it first, and Lucifer followed suit.
I remember, yes, you told me that. That's really
Yeah,
cool. That's a cool
that
UPG.
is
Yeah.
cool. Well, it's not just my UPG either. A lot of people, if you do some reading about it, you'll. I'm not gonna go any further with it on this because I don't want to give away the goodies to people that haven't worked for it. So I'll let them do their homework too.
Yes,
Um,
I'll also do my homework. You're right. If you want to know something, you need to research it. You need to.
yeah,
In Hebrew, you
I
say
try to.
yagat. I want to say it. Yagata matzata tami. Matzata
Okay.
lo yagata matzata al tami. It means if you work for something and you found it, then believe. If you didn't work for
Yeah.
something and you found it, don't believe it. It's a lie.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a lot of falsehood in the occult, and we have to sort out what's real and what's not, what's true and what's not, what works and what doesn't. That's part of our challenge. We're like an investigative reporter, the difficult part is this. If you take seven people and you write down a message on a piece of paper, and one person whispers the message into the ear of the person next to them, and it goes down the line till the very end, by the seventh person, the message is completely different than what was written on that piece of paper.
Yes, it makes sense because
Distortion.
word to mouth is a good advertising avenue, but it's a bad information transfer method.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because too much gets lost and corrupted. How do you feel about Lilith, for example?
Lilith, I intend to evoke her, but I never evoked her, never walked with her. She's
Are
the sacred harlot, right?
Are you aware that before the Jewish religion got a hold of her, that she was actually a goddess that was involved in bringing children sweet dreams and protecting children's sleep? But when the Jewish religion got a hold of her, it actually transformed her into a night side entity.
It demonized her. Sorry for
Yeah,
for the derogatory use of the term, but yeah.
it did. You're right. But it shows you how spirits' character and qualities can change with time and people's belief. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, because they wear the different mask. It's the same entity, but it wears different mask according to what people believe.
Yeah, right. That's something that the book of Sitra Achra talks about, which is like when we talk about Moloch and Satan, um, um, like Moloch and Satan and Thaumael, we aren't really talking about like the Moloch of ancient Israel. We're talking about the spirit that is behind Moloch, uh, that wears it like a mask. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
more
The book,
ancient spirit, because Moloch is no not so ancient like Marduk, Moloch, Belial,
yeah,
all
yeah.
the different spirits. They have some of them are the same spirit, some of them are different spirits. It depends.
Yeah, that's tricky. Now, I was really of the opinion that Astarte and Astaroth are two different spirits entirely. V.K. Johannem says that they are aspects of each other. Uh, One of my apprentices, who became a patron of them, uh, they're of the same opinion. So I was really in the minority, and I think I'm wrong. Maybe like I think I'm just wrong about that. But they feel so different. You know what I mean?
I understand. You evoke them, and you tried them, you talk to them, and you're talking from your own personal experience. It's valid.
Yeah, yeah. Like I didn't feel like the same energy signature there at all. Like it's like okay, if you call me hey Mike B, I'm gonna respond to you a certain way. If you say hey asshole, I'm gonna respond to you a certain way. If you say magician Mike B, the legendary Mike B, I'm gonna respond a certain way. So I understand that different masks and different personas of spirits are going to respond to you differently depending on how they're called. I get that. Okay, I get that. Uh, but I still feel like I would sense the same spirit behind the mask, and I just didn't with that one. But I'm not going to say
I
I'm right and everybody else is wrong. I mean, because that would be arrogant, honestly. And I don't want to be. I don't want to be an arrogant cocksucker. Like there are too many arrogant cocksucker black magicians in this business anyway. I don't want to be another one of them. I want to do something different. I thought I'd try something original.
Yeah, we can always ask the entities. They know the best.
Yeah, I mean, but how much do we trust our UPG when it deviates so significantly from that of the accepted norm?
It's true because we always need confirmation from our peers. You're right. That's
Yeah,
how we prevent ourselves from becoming delusional.
Yes, that's exactly how you're supposed to. That's why we're there for each other. That's why we have a community, so that we can compare notes and turn UPG into SPG, shared personal gnosis, and then build upon that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's illusion and it stops madness. When people just start believing every goddamn thing the spirits tell them, I mean, that is a road to ruin. That is a road to ruin. I mean, first of all, the spirit may not even know what the fuck it's talking about. The spirit may be wrong. The spirit may be lying. You know, they do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but if you ask the spirit and I ask the spirit and 100 other people ask the spirit and we also check the energy signature, then we can assume it's more accurate. We can't be sure, but we can assume.
Yeah, you're right. I'm considering doing a project of all the goetic spirits that give true answers about divinity, and maybe coming up with a 10 questionnaire question for them, like 10 questions. Each of us ask these spirits, six of them, ask the same questions, and then compare our answers when we're completely finished and it's done. Biases in our own, uh, how our own worldview shapes their answers coming through the filter of our mind. You know what I mean? I'd be very curious to see that.
Yes, of course. It makes sense that you need to compare notes.
I think we've lost him, but he'll come back in a second.
Okay,
He's very good
can
company.
you
He's
hear?
very easy to talk to. Yes.
Hello?
Okay, Jonathan Frost. Yeah. 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 Jonathan Frost. Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to answer something from Jonathan Frost here, real quick. Yes. Okay. Let me tell you how they do that, John Frost. If you don't know, when they become aware of you, when you start thinking about them or speaking, they become aware of you. Okay. You're thinking of them. They're thinking of you. That's how that works. Okay. Now they are able to read your mind like a book. Okay. You have no secrets against the goetic spirit when they scan your mind. They're going to look for voices that they want to mimic. They're going to look for images in your past that suit their purpose so that they can show themselves to you in a picture and with a voice that you will feel comfortable with and you will not be afraid of. Okay. That's why they do that, John Frost. Yep. Yep. Now, conversely, if they don't like, it can definitely appear as something scary as shit just to make sure that you don't call them again. Yeah, they can do that too. But they are very highly telepathic creatures. They definitely go through our minds and pick and choose images and voices to emulate in order to make contact with us. Yes, that's for sure. Yep, Carol. What do you want to tell the audience briefly?
Okay, well, what I want to tell the audience,
Yeah, what's important to you?
it's important to me, always keep experimenting, like you said, and always document, always account for what you did and didn't do, what you intend to do tomorrow. Always live in the present, remember the past, and plan for the future.
That's good. That's some solid advice, man. That's real solid, bro. That was, and you didn't even have to think about that. That just came out. That was impressive. That was good, man. I don't think I could have done that on the spot either. That was good. Okay, we've got a few minutes left. We got about 10, maybe 15 minutes that we can shoot the shit, and we'll answer some questions from the audience. You'll take the next question, and I'll take the one after that. So go ahead,
Okay,
audience.
sure.
Shoot any questions. He's going to answer the first one, and I'll answer the second, or whatever.
Yeah,
We can both comment on it too. It's okay. There's no rules here. We just kind of make them up as we go along.
yes.
Yeah. One of my viewers said something about my smoking. Guess what? I am never going to stop smoking, okay? Because I don't want to live forever. All right. No.
Okay, so any questions?
I guess not. No, I guess nobody has any questions. This is curious. Let me see who we've even got here. Live. Okay, awesome. Well, we had a couple other people. I think we lost them during the various transitions into this. into this chat, but whatever. Um, Stuff that's important, Kira. What would you say is important to beginners and intermediates?
I want to use the advice of the wonderful Justin in the last interview.
Oh,
Perseverance.
that was good. That was a good interview, wasn't it?
It was a great interview, of course.
No, man, I like
That's
that guy. He and I are actually going to do a series of interviews on different subjects for beginners.
yes. The camera
Yeah,
loves him
that's.
also.
Hmm.
Okay, so another question I think would be interesting
All right.
to new people.
Well, I'm sorry. What?
I'm thinking of another question that might be interesting to people.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Uh, okay. You know what? I got one, Kirill. Do you have your Oracle cards?
I have my Oracle cards, but I'll have to pause the video and go get them.
You don't have to pause it. You can just leave it running, and I'll sit here and entertain, and you grab those. I want to ask you a question, and I want to get the answer on air because I'm genuinely curious about it, and I want to put a certain spirit on the spot.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, Bill. All right. And this
Okay, so
showcases your divinatory abilities, which are very solid.
okay, great. So I'm just gonna put it here.
All right.
Gonna put it here.
Oh, and Mr. Frost, I did see your message about being curious about some work and things like that. I sent you an email, and I check it pretty regularly. Uh, I sent you an email, and if you ever did want to talk about projects or anything, that's fine. I'd be happy to entertain that, and I can definitely take and
I'm
answer your
back.
questions, and we can get
I'm
quotes
back.
for anything tonight. Okay, just throw that out there.
Okay, I'll shuffle with one hand because my stander for the camera. Yeah,
Okay, we gotta get you a little tripod, don't we?
that's what I got. I don't know why it's so limited, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
maybe I'll
Here's my
order
question.
online. They probably have better titles.
Are you ready for my question?
I'm ready for your question. Yeah, ask away.
Is it safe to channel Asmodee tonight after this show in about 10 or 15 minutes?
Is it safe? Let's see. Is it safe?
Because he's been playing a
Okay.
little game with me, and I'm not sure what he's trying to say. Like
Let's
that
see what.
rash, that rash is a him.
Yeah, may make sense. He likes to play tricks, huh?
Yeah, he does. He's a lot of fun. He's like a barrel of monkeys, except like gorillas, like really strong gorillas. That's what he's like.
Okay.
Lucibel would like some incense, and Arobus would like a cigarette, so I'm going to give them what they're asking for.
The divine feminine. You see?
Okay, that is a card of. I can sense and see that is a card of channeling because something is wrapped around the skeleton inside. And Divine Feminine is like the High Priestess card, which is all about channeling. So, yes, the answer is it is safe, but it's going to be spooky and scary and probably kind of dark. Yeah,
Yes. And probably
yeah.
he's gonna say some difficult things, which people not going to like.
Yeah, and he may not say it in an appropriate way. He may say things in foul, derogatory, nasty ways. I'm really worried about that actually, because I would never disrespect any of my viewers ever for any reason. I'm all about respect. I'm all about peace. I'm all about kindness. As
Yeah.
long as you allow me to do that, I'll do that. But I don't think maybe Asmodee feels that way about some things, and maybe he's gonna act in a way that would be different than kindness and respect.
Yes.
I'm worried about that. To be honest, I'm really worried.
Yes. Let's
Need
see
you
what your
tonight
cards
actually
say.
for that in case he gets a little wild. Oh, okay, Aeon. Yes, a new. Okay, Aeon. I don't recognize you, but thank you for coming. Good morning.
Thank
Yeah,
you for coming. Good morning.
yeah. We might have to have you. Yeah, keep a close eye on things. Now, what do you do in the situation of malefic possession? What do you think you should do?
First of all, you have to identify the problem. You have to identify which entity is possessing.
Oh, it's tofu. It's cosmic tofu. What's cracking, bro? Good to have you on, man. You're on my list to interview, Tofu. You're not going to get away either. I'm not going to let you escape. One of these weeks, you're going to be on this show too. You're going to be up here in a mask, just like us, and representing the left-hand path. Yeah, you're right. You need to find out what the problem is. Okay. First, you need to know what spirit it is. All right. That can be a challenge too. Getting it out of the person who's inside, because the demon doesn't want to tell you. Because as soon as he tells you, it's like the beginning of the end. All right. The next step is to make a seal of the spirit, and you can call the spirit through evocation from the body of the person possessed into the seal and triangle. That's a trick a lot of people don't know. Yep, yep.
Yes,
Now they
that's
might not
very
want to,
interesting.
and then it turns into a challenge of wills. All right. Yeah, yeah. I did one once with Beelzebub, and I'm going to tell you what, it was absolutely the worst, bro. I mean, it was so bad. He was like a monster on methamphetamine. He was like psychotically strong. Um, didn't want to go. Didn't want to let his possession go. Um, yeah, it was bad, dude. It was really bad. Yeah, I don't suggest you. You know what? I'm thinking maybe I just evoke Gremory, but then I don't want to get fucking Asmodee fucking pissed. So can you see? Can you ask that question?
Okay, well, what will happen if you evoke Gremory instead of Ashmedai?
Because I don't think Asmodee wants to really be called. I think he's just kind of saying I don't really want to do this. And if you make me do this,
I
I'm gonna
understand.
I'm gonna act out. You know,
I'm good. I'm good.
that's what it
Let's
feels like to me.
see. And what does Prince Orbis say? That's also very important.
Prince Orobus told me straight the fuck up. He said, "Man, you better be really careful, man. You are walking a very, very delicate line." He says there is a very great possibility of danger, and he says I'm not going to say anything else. That's what Orobus said. So that made me concerned. Now I'm not going to be a pussy about this. If I want to evoke King Asmodee, I'm going to, and there's not a goddamn thing that he or any other spirit is going to do about it. Because in my temple, I am God, and if I want to call King Asmodee, I'm going to.
This is the
Um,
card of darkness reversed. That's what will happen if you evoke Gremory.
yeah, okay, so that's not a good card, is it?
It's not a very good card. No.
Okay, we're going to have to call Asmodee. That's the bottom line. To come, but he's acting like he doesn't want to, and he's going to act out, and we just need to be prepared for that. So, okay, that's just how it is. Okay, that's great, wonderful. I have something special for him, though. You see this?
Ah,
Yeah.
Jägermeister.
Now this is his personal bottle. So whenever he comes, he gets to have his bottle. Um, and that I'm hoping with a very nice incense. You know, I'm hoping that we can make this thing work. Because I don't want him to act out. I don't want him to get bad. But I guess I just have to respect the will of the people too. They did vote on Asmodee, so
As
I guess
long
we
as
just have to
you're
go.
careful.
I'm going to do everything by the book, dude. We're going to be I'm talking about circle and triangle. We're going to do everything by the book. The problem is I got to let him come in. And if I keep one hand on the wheel, it's like he's really, really strong, dude. Like, it's really like when a spirit like Azazel possesses you, you have no way to stop that. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter who you are. You're going to get possessed. If King Azazel wants to possess you, you're like a meat puppet. He's going to jump in and take over. King Asmodee is pretty much the same. Like, oh, I'll just jump into you and borrow you for a minute. No problem. That's how they are. you know?
Yeah.
And it's a little scary because it's like, with spirits that are cool, they can go through partial possession and channeling, and it's a nice, gentle experience. When you say that you're finished, they let go, and then that's it. It's okay. But if he doesn't want to let go, then we have a problem. You see what I mean?
Yes, I understand. Then it turns into malicious possession.
Right. And now he doesn't hate me. We don't have a bad relationship, but he's made me do some embarrassing things in the past and say some embarrassing things. And I just hope that doesn't happen, tonight is what I'm hoping. I'm just hoping that he's, decent about this. But I kind of sense that it's really iffy. And I know he's dying right now. He loves what we're doing right now. He's feeding off this, this trepidation, this nervousness, this anxiety. He loves this. He loves this.
Yes.
You know. Yeah. That's so we're feeding him. So I'm gonna stop doing that, and we'll just after our deal, we'll give it 5 more minutes, and then I'll suit up and we'll go into channeling. So, but definitely do
Okay.
me a favor, but be on standby because if you see anything not what it
Of
should
course,
be,
I'll
you
be
have to go.
watching. Of course, I'll be in the chat. I'll be watching. I'll be
If
closely
I start
watching. Of course.
shaking, if I start shaking really bad, that means I'm trying to get him out. If I start doing a vomiting thing, that means I'm trying to get him out. Uh, Pull him out. That's what I would tell you. You know.
Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
For those of you who don't understand how possession works, you have to make yourself an empty vessel in order to become possessed and in order to channel a spirit as if they are in you. You're going to see me rock back and forth like this, and that's because the spirit wants to feel weightless while he's inside of you. Okay, that's why we do that. What else? Most of the time, this is a gentle, natural thing that happens to people without even realizing it. People get possessed all the time and don't even realize it, but it's not a big deal. Um, they just kind of go in for a minute, then they leave, and it's okay. Sometimes they even give you really amazing insights or abilities that you didn't have before. That does happen. It's called transference. So, yeah. Okay. Well, Kirill, thank you so much for being with us. And you know what? It's too bad Justin wasn't here, but we'll get him maybe next time. And it's cool that you were here, Kirill. Thank you for being here on such short notice. That was awesome.
Okay,
The
I'm
fans
glad to
definitely.
be here. I'm glad that we did this. It's very important.
The fans you had a lot of viewership actually, a surprising amount of viewership, which is cool, very cool. That's what I want. I wanted for people to get to know who you were. That's what we accomplished. So
Okay,
okay,
wonderful.
everybody, if you give me about 5 minutes, I'm gonna suit up and we're gonna start the evocation of King Asmodee and the channeling of King Asmodee, and the answering of questions of King Asmodee. And
Okay.
keep it locked, Kirill, and just kind of back me up if something goes wrong. That's all we can do.
Okay, I'm here for you, Mike.
All right, thanks, brother. Peace.
Peace. Peace out.